Claire. It is wonderful to see you all, if I haven't seen you at some of my other panels. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being absolutely wonderful. I love Chicago, and I love you guys, so thank you very much for being cool. Give yourselves a round of applause. Okay, let's introduce these lovely two. Okay, please, I want you to look and cheer until they sit down. No stopping. It's Eman Esfandi and Diana Lee and Inosanto.
Thanks, y'all.
I interviewed Michael Rooker recently, and I said, "Don't stop cheering until he sits down," and he just stood there. Which is very Michael Rooker.
I didn't know that was an option. I would have stood too.
And how are you guys? It's lovely to see you both again.
Good to see you.
It's good to see you.
Love seeing you guys. How has it been today in Chicago?
I love it. I love Chicago. My husband's a Chicago man too, so he's from the Midwest.
This is my first time here. Had a very warm welcome, so thank you all.
Okay, I have to ask you a pizza question. Sorry, because we're in Chicago. So, what do you like on your pizza?
I like pepperoni. I like sausage. I like peppers. And I like the red flakes, the spicy.
I've never had a cheer for spicy meat before. Give me the cheer for the spicy meat. That's one of my panels of local chaos. But just worry. Now let's get straight in, because the last time I spoke to both of you, it was Portland. It was earlier this year, and Eman, you were speaking about science for the universe when you got this role. So without going into that story again, I just wanted to talk about the universe for a bit. Let's get spiritual. Since that point, for both of you, have you had any more signs from the universe that you're doing the right thing, that you're going in the right direction? We're going deep. We're going from pizza, we're from spicy meat to spirituality.
It's the same, I think. It's kind of the same.
There's no in between.
I mean, for me, if you want to talk about the Force, I think the Force is so prevalent in the fans. And I love it because I love the fans that come and see us. And we get to have this time when we can with, the people who come to us. And I love it. I'm a mom with a son with autism, and like, for instance, I love that I get so many people from his community that come and see me, and that alone, to have that spirit of love is real important to me. And so yeah, it's really cool. I'm just loving that.
Yeah. Agreed. And a little thing that came about today, and it's the little things with the signs, in my opinion, the synchronicities. I have a lucky number, which is 47, and that just happens to be the number. And so 47 will show up in my life as like a little wink here and there, like, hey, you're in the right place, or this is a good sign. And today, you know how if you're a collector, there are items that have like 712 out of 1,000, or 447 out of 500, things like that. Well, I didn't see anything today with a number on it except one thing, and it was 447 out of 500, and I was like, I'm gonna take that wink. It feels like a little sign to me, and that felt good. And then things, I've actually had some signs happening with tennis, because now I'm training to be a pro tennis player.
Woo! Are you following that on Instagram? How is it going?
Yeah, it's going. It's going. It's called Eman Goes Pro, making a documentary about it. And it's become quite the adventure, and I'm learning a lot very fast and training a lot. But doors are opening and signs are showing up, and it's like, oh, I guess this is the way, right? Or this is the way, or this is the way. And pun intended, and it's been a beautiful sort of validation and reminder, like, yes, follow your heart, this, because going pro in tennis at 29 isn't something people go, that's your next step. You made it, you know, you're acting really in this big, great project, go be a pro tennis player. But my heart told me to, and then so has shown me the universe that this is the way. So it's been a really nice synchronicity in that sense.
Yeah. The universe has brought you to the spiritual spicy meat panel. Welcome everybody. Welcome. I love that you're doing that. Yes, you're right. 29 is not old, but in terms of the sport, that is old. But look, I'm Sagittarius rising. Very young. I'm so sorry. Let's blame astrology now, shall we? Yeah. But no, I understand that. But I feel like you can do anything at any age.
Right.
And you know, like people, I think we're so obsessed with age in this culture, society, especially in this industry. Have you found that as well, Diana, about age?
Oh my God. Did you guys not know my story? It's taken me a long time to get to this place. And, you know, I honestly, you know, I try now to say that I'm over 40, I'm over 50. And I got my big break because of Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. You know, Dave Filoni discovered me through Google, and I think about, seriously, that's true, because when they were casting for The Mandalorian, Jon Favreau felt it was really important to find somebody who was authentically a real martial artist, and somebody who would go, oh wow! And Dave went on Google, and he put, he told me, badass woman martial artist. And my picture came up from a movie called The Sensei I did. I was an independent film that I wrote, directed, produced, and starred in, and it's just been a miracle that that's how he found me, because I couldn't get representation theatrically as an actress because of age. And yet sometimes the universe does just break open, and so I'm here. And so I'm just here to say too, age is just a number. I mean, my dad's 88 and he still does martial arts. He knows how to roll, he does jiu-jitsu, he does, you know, weaponry, he does, you know, Thai boxing, you know, so don't ever let a number get in your way, ever. So I'm here that as a testimony to what happened for me. So I just want to let all of you know that.
I needed that, thank you.
We love your journey. You mentioned Jon and Dave there. You were saying that, I watched an interview where you were saying, God, it was so great to watch this as a fan, and then I could fill in the gaps. You know, by working on this, what were those gaps that were filled for you? Was it just process? Just behind the scenes stuff? Was it fan questions that you...
Wait, say that again. What was the question?
I'm
I'm getting over here. Wait a minute.
Look, the spiritual panel has aged us. When you worked with Jon and Dave, you were saying that you were such a fan of the franchise.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then all of a sudden, you find yourself working there.
Yeah.
And you get to fill in all of these gaps as a fan, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Oh my God, like, what were those gaps? Was it just process and behind the scenes?
You know, for me as a fan, I've loved Star Wars since I was a little girl. And then my dad, when we first saw Star Wars, I mean, one of the first things he did when we got home was he goes, I'm gonna try to find these plastic lightsabers. So that's how my dad would train me sometimes in martial arts. So as a fan, I grew up loving John Williams, those movies, the Star Wars movies, gave me a love of everything Star Wars. And so for me, when I was first on the volume, I don't know how it was for you, I was like, holy smokes, if the fans could only see the process, the collective process of all these people, these great minds coming together, it's immense. And yeah, it's hard to even explain. I feel the simplest way to describe it is like NASA, and everybody locks arms, and everybody's on it, and it's incredible. So.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, the technology is just out of this world.
I asked for a day on set before I had my first day shooting, just to see, because I was like, I've never, everything I ever did was like under $10,000 budget, so
From the indie world.
Yeah, so I was like, I don't know what it's gonna be like, and it is like that. It's like, I mean, if you've been to Disneyland, Galaxy's Edge, and you did Rise of the Resistance. Some love there. That made me cry, by the way. When I first did that, ride, it made me fall in tears because I didn't know, I didn't know what we were getting into, and then that really kind of summed it up. But seeing all of that and how impressive that is, yet also seeing the 200 people that are making that happen in the moment, in real time, with a different set every day, with different casts every day. So it's like witnessing that happening, but it's not automated. People are doing it all in real time, in sync, and it's like watching at the same time watching a play, as it is watching a literal pit crew times 150 people. Yeah. In NASCAR, because it happens that fast. People are moving stuff, squibs, things exploding, sound, people are dodging stuff, people are puppeteering, we're walking and acting. It's like hilarious, choreography, pulled and things being dropped, and so there's people who are sprinting the whole time, there's people who are just watching the whole time. It's very unique, but everyone's on the same page for the same moment, and it's one of the most magical things to witness.
It really was.
In person.
Also, I thought it was kind of funny too. I don't know about you, because at times you were on a different set from me when we were filming. Did you ever have to hide from the skeleton crew kids?
I wish, that sounds so fun.
You can't reveal anything, so yeah, it was kind of,
Is that because your stage was next to their stage?
Yeah, and so we had to all kind of hide and make sure we didn't see each other. It was a good kind of thing. So
I didn't even know they were around.
They were little kids. I'm like, oh, there they are. It's really cute.
That's adorable.
Yeah, it was adorable. So
I'm so fascinated when I work on sets because it is like what you described. It's like watching a living brain.
Yeah.
Like it's like little organisms. Ants. Nobody stops talking. I'm like, oh, everything's like, it's cool. It's really cool to watch.
And then you're trying to also hide from, potential drones that are passing by and stay hidden, and you're having to hide your costume. That's the other process, the security process of it, trying to make sure that whatever is released, that you guys are all surprised. So that was another unique moment, I think, of the process too.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Was there anyone on set that was particularly relaxed or bad for kind of keeping things hidden? Were they like, everything was really good? Yeah. What?
I pointed at myself. I was like not super strict. But they also they'd be like, where the code? And I was like, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom. I'm just right back. And after a while, they were just okay with me going to the bathroom without it. I was a little bit lenient on it. But I think it's because it was the end. It was like I came in at the end, as we all know, and so they were just like, go. You sure? All right.
I want to see that drone TMZ shot, just like Ezra saying waving,
swinging sabers, in full outfit,
just pointing at it. Oh, look, it's a drone. That's lovely.
Trying to pull it down.
The team, so that would, like hair, makeup, wardrobe, they would go through, because we all had you have to wear clothes, you have to wear things to make sure, if you're crossing from one set to the other, that nobody can see you. So it was a whole team setup. It was really wild.
I would be like,
the amount of times I'd cross, and then on the other side, the person would then come behind me with the cloak. I forgot. But I'm here now, so we're good.
Eman's on the move.
Yeah, Eagle's on the move, yeah.
He's doing a number 2. Eman, let's talk about music for a second, because I know you've just released a single. Is it called Drunk Text? Is that it?
Yeah, well, that wasn't the most recent one, but that is one I released pretty recently. Drunk Text, yeah.
It's really, really great.
Thank you.
I really, really loved it. Music for you, acting all falls away. Is that something that you would just pick up?
Actually, music is the thing that, because acting wasn't really working out for me when I first moved to LA, and I wasn't very happy with it, and it wasn't making me happy anymore. It was such a toxic, and you know this more than most, it was toxic in that industry to constantly receive auditions for roles that were either outright and inherently insulting and minimizing, or subversively minimizing and insulting. It was like, oh, it's not necessarily saying that a person of color is worth less, but it's pretty much emphasizing that by the way they've structured the script. And so after a while, I was like, I was in therapy, and it was like, man, I guess acting doesn't make me happy, and all I care about really is being happy. And I found music, and music made me very happy, and still makes me very, very happy. And it became my foundation. It was like, if something in my life that wants to enter it doesn't feel as enlivening and make me as happy as music does, I won't even entertain it. I won't even try. I'm like, oh, no. Like, I have my standard for what it must bring me. And that is, so it's still very much a core part of me. And I'm still releasing music, obviously, under DragonWulf. And yeah, so that's really where that is.
So if does it spark joy, basically?
Very much. That's exactly right.
Get it in the bin. That's what you're saying.
Get it in the bin?
Yeah, sorry, being very British now. Get it in the bin, mate.
Get it in the bin, mate.
Stick it in the trash.
Stick it in what?
Get it in the bin.
Wait. What am I sticking in the bin this time?
Bad stuff.
Oh, classic. Just like in America. Okay, yeah. So if it doesn't spark joy, get it in the bin, mate.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. I like that very much. Yeah, get it in the bin, mate. I think it's what we say when we say throw it away.
Get it in the bin. Just get it.
Yeah, get it in the bin, yeah.
You were talking about roles that felt not quite right, that made you slightly unhappy about sort of even considering, and that's something that you had to face as well. How, as actors, do you get round that in a way to kind of keep your confidence up and keep that creativity up through the years, because it's hard?
Yeah, no, it is. And listen, like music, I mean, you would never stop music, right? For me, I would never stop acting. I just knew, okay, if I was never going to make it, I could still do theater, I could still do comedy, I could do improv. So I got together with those groups once in a while, there's your passion, and then there's show business. And so I think that's one thing you have to kind of separate in your head. And if it wasn't going to happen even tomorrow, I know that I can still do these things and enjoy the art of acting, or directing, writing. You don't have to lose your passion. You can still be attached to it. Whether or not you make it in this business is a whole other thing. And the business can be like this right now. And you kind of have to take one day at a time. And that's kind of what I found in my life.
It's your strength and passion that has us sitting here talking to these lovely people today.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And let's talk about the fans before we get to fan questions. The fans are everything, as you know, and you get to meet them often, which is an absolute blessing because you get to hear their stories. What have you learned from them on this journey? Because you learn things as actors on sets, you learn in life, but from people that you meet at conventions, what have you learned? Can I go first? Wow! There's an answer.
Sir, there's going to be questions later, sir. No, you got it.
Yeah, for me, what I learned a lot from the fans. First of all, I was already a geek and a nerd way before I made it in Star Wars. And so I really feel like I found my village. But so many of you come and visit us, and you tell us your stories. You tell us why you love Star Wars, why you connect to it. And then many of you come from amazing. To me, I've met so many fans that I go, these are heroes. Some of them have served in the military. Some of them are moms, right? Some of you guys are teachers. Some of you do extraordinary things, and yet you're here with us. And I just want you guys to know how much we all appreciate you with Lucasfilm. We really do, and Disney. And we're just happy that you are a part of this, and that we can really share joy with all of you. And that's something I really appreciate, and what I learned from all of you.
I echo the same. I feel like one of the most interesting things I've learned in this convention tour that I feel like we've been on is how unique everyone's relationship to Star Wars is. but how similar their reason for loving Star Wars is, right? Like, what they love about Star Wars, what y'all love about Star Wars, all sort of rests on similar things, but the way you came to it, the first movie, your sister, your brother, your uncle, anyone who showed it to you, or what it got you through, or what it gets you through, any of that is all so unique to everybody, and it's so special to hear how different that is, and to know the ways it affects everybody. But then at the heart of it, it's like, most of the time, the fans I've met, and I think you've met, are like, oh, I'll say, oh, did you watch this? And I watch it all. I just love Star Wars. And that unifying, universal thing of like, oh, it's just, if it's Star Wars, I'm a fan. I love it, I watch it, that's enough for me. And that specific simplicity of a thing that is so big, it is like the biggest, it is quite literally the most well-known franchise in the history of Hollywood. Like, it is so much bigger than us. And so then to be able to be ingrained in it and integrated and a part of it, and then to breathe life into it in some ways is like the utmost honor, and I feel the same way. I feel like I've been accepted into a family with everyone, so I'm really grateful.
And I was going to say, many of you identify with the same themes that we see all the time, bravery, courage, hope, putting, willing to sacrifice yourself to help your fellow person, that you care about. I mean, these are universal themes, and I think that's what gets us all connected.
Thank you to you guys. Let's have a round of applause for the first part of this panel. Okay, back questions. There's a mic here and a mic here. We're going to try and get through as many as possible. So just some ground rules, you guys. Please keep it to one short question each, because we have a big line and not a lot of time left. But let's start with little Leia, because I saw you going up to the... Can somebody help little Leia with the mic? All right, my dear. What's your name, my love, and what is your question when we get the mic to you? Right in there. Oh, thank you, guys. Thank you. All right, name and question, my love.
Downstairs, I got like this little axolotl rose cat, and I know as your picture real born will fall. So what do you think to name this little guy? When you can make the middle name, and then when you can make the first name.
Get louder?
Second part.
So, one of you can name the middle name, and then one of you can name the first name.
We're naming a child together.
I do have a name. I have one.
Is this?
Oh, it's You're so precious.
Is there a camera that we could show this to?
I don't know if they're...
Get the sports
Okay, so we
ESPN
can throw a
Zoom.
name. We can throw a name. Okay. Okay, I'll do the middle name.
Oh my
I know that-
God! I wish I could show you a face.
The middle name? Can I give you the middle name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she'll go.
Ohana. That's very special. That's a special word. Ohana. Yeah, Ohana. Because Ohana stands for family. My grandmother was from Hawaii, so Ohana.
That's the first name, right? Okay, first name.
No pressure.
And you said Ohana. Okay, Ohana. What was the next of Ohana?
Joe Ohana.
Jabba Ohana.
I won't be a job. It's too cute for job. What? Oh, okay. Yeah, you should pick the first name. I know. See, the last name will be.
Bridger.
I used to be named by the crowd.
The crowd. What did the crowd want?
Bridger. Oh, okay. So, something Ohana Bridger. I was thinking of really regular names too, like Scott. No. Okay, so Ohana Bridger, there's a name.
What's your name and question?
My name is Sophia. I'm a really big fan of the animated series, so I was wondering if you guys watch like the Clone Wars and Rebels to like prepare for your roles.
Did we watch Clone Wars?
Yeah.
Or Rebels?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I was already lucky because I'm a mom, so I was watching, Clone Wars and definitely Rebels way before I was ever cast. So I got a head start. Yes, I was very familiar with it.
Incredible shows, also a big fan. No, I didn't watch them. Capital BUT. I read a lot of the episodes of Rebels on Wikipedia. They're all summarized. I started. It's something worse. I read all about Ezra, and then I did research on like Jedi's and George Lucas and stuff like that. But I didn't want to watch the animated version first and then get too caught up in how he sounded and how he is as an animation. But I've seen it now.
Okay, come right into the mic because it's hard to hear. And what's your name and question?
Hi, I'm Poppy. This is a question for Diana. I'm wondering if you could speak a little bit to, I think sometimes we don't see a lot of female portrayals that are like unapologetically in control, for lack of a better word, and maybe not so nice all the time. And I guess I'm curious if your perspective of just how you approach the role to just like really go for it.
I can only tell you about my process as an actress. In the very beginning when I first auditioned for this role, I looked to historical characters like Catherine the Great and Julius Caesar, even Henry IV, and I just thought, well, whoever this person is, has great power. But then when I received the script, I saw the reference of Thrawn, so then I had to go to Timothy Zahn's books and really about him, and he created Thrawn, and so I just assumed whoever was in Thrawn's circle that Morgan Elsbeth would have a lot in common with these people, and there would be certain attributes she would have. But yet I also assumed for Thrawn to be so important to her, he would have given her a lot of validation and thought she was also a strong person, and that was validated in Tales of the Empire. Have you seen? Go watch it. And I'm just so happy that Dave Filoni would write this character, and that I would have the honor of being able to play her in both live action and in animation. So very thrilled.
Well, you both did an amazing job, both of you.
Thank
you.
Thank you for your question. Hello, my dear. Straight into the mic, please. Quite quiet.
Hello,
So, what's your name and question?
Question for both of you. Your favorite Star Wars characters. Just your favorite Star Wars characters.
Favorite Star Wars character.
Favorite Star Wars characters?
Oh, well, come on.
Pioneer.
And I do love Jen from Rogue One. I really do.
That's my favorite one to be. I'd say it's Kane and Jarrus. And Darth Maul.
Okay, straight into the mic so we can hear you. What's your name and question?
My name's Courtney, and I have a question for both of you. A lot of people my age grew up watching Clone Wars and Rebels, and that's really what got us into the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if you guys have any stories or thoughts on how impactful it's been to bring that kind of story to live action.
Well,
what was the last part? I'm having a hard time hearing.
Yeah, it's quite quiet here. So I'll repeat, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. Clone Wars.
Right, no, I heard that part.
So what kind of, how has it felt to sort of portray that impact that it's had?
Oh, wait, you want to go first?
Sure. Like I said, I didn't watch it before, so I didn't even know how, one, amazing both those shows are, and how amazing animated Star Wars is as a whole, and I could not have known how many people grew up on that. They would come home from school, or for some reason, some people at breakfast, and they would watch Rebels, or they would watch Clone Wars after school or right before school, which I had that with like Dragon Ball Z every 5 p.m. I was in my parents' room watching it. And so I understand that depth of a connection to a show, but never knew that was how these animated shows from Star Wars helped raise people, essentially, right? Like I was raised by Dragon Ball Z, like changed who I am as a person. And so to find out by experiencing, how deeply people love these characters from that show, Ezra in particular, as I know him, has been just like a very humbling experience. It's like very like, oh, like that's who this is to so many people, as opposed to like, oh yeah, I played this Jedi in this show. It's like, oh no, you play Ezra Bridger. And Ezra Bridger means the world to a lot of people. Ezra Bridger was a lot of people's friend or brother, or they felt they were Ezra growing up in some way. And so that connection has been really grounding and humbling and beautiful. It's just been special, and it's again, like I could not have known how big. Even if I watched it myself, like as research, I still wouldn't have really known until coming face to face with the thousands of people that I have who love him so dearly. So it's been very special, and it is such an honor to meet anybody who grew up in that, who grew up watching that character, or those characters in particular. Yeah.
For me, personally, I love discovering Ahsoka and seeing her journey and evolution from preteen to, adult in Rebels. And then I love Asajj Ventress. I love the Night Sisters. I love Hera. I love Sabine. I think we're all great archetypes for young women growing up, and so for that, I appreciate that. And I had to really fall back on that again, particularly understanding Night Sister culture. And that was important to me in my process as an actress.
Okay, thank you so much for your question. Okay, I'm going to try, I think, for a couple more. So you at the mic, and then you at the mic, and everyone behind you. Sorry, you can sit down. Thank you very much. Don't look at me. Like curse the gods of time. You're fine. The mic. You're fine. Hello,
You've been saved.
Right, you've been spared by time. And right into the mic so we can hear your name and your question.
Hi, I'm Heather. My question is for Eman. Ezra has a lot of lightsabers throughout his time. Which one is your favorite?
The Glock saber. Got this little track. He's like, I want to make a lightsaber, and they're like, oh, in time, you gotta practice. He's like, oh, and then he makes one. He's like, check this out. That's insane. I can't believe Dave wrote that. Like, that's so hilarious. I half thought that would happen in our show. You'd be like, you know what? I missed the Glock saber. It's so convenient. So that one is for sure top one. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hello, the man that's been spared by time. Hello there. What's your name and question? Right into the mic, please.
Yeah. Hi, my name is DJ. This is George Diana. So, with your background in martial arts, considering who your father and godfather is, how has that influenced your life and career? And were you able to influence or help choreograph the fight scene with Final Fight Ahsoka?
Oh my gosh, that's a long question. I'm trying to think because there's so much history. Well, definitely, I'm so appreciative of my family heritage as a martial artist. And for some of you who you may or may not know, my godfather's the late Bruce Lee. thousand systems, and that did play a role eventually in my pathway to Star Wars. It really did. But you know, when it came to choreography, like when I did The Mandalorian, I was very lucky because the stunt team already, many of them had already had a dotted line to my father. A few of them had actually trained under my father, so they custom made the fight scene pretty much according to what I do, and I'm fond of performing. And then I would make a little adjustments, and I was amazed that actually Dave Filoni allowed me to improvise in my fight scene with Rosario. And it was kind of, it was, anytime we weren't making contact, I was doing my own thing. And God, that day was so stressful, because that was the day George Lucas came by the set. So I was like, please don't accidentally spear Rosario. But no, everybody was great. And then, you know, later on we had Mean Q, who came aboard on Ahsoka, and she was phenomenal in creating almost this whole unique style, using a wushu type approach and a little bit and treating the Talzin blade like a spear. And so, you know, I'm just very happy that my dad gave me this very collective approach to martial arts, and sort of like what we call to empty your cup, and that did serve me well in my fight scenes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Applause for the fact.
Thank you all so